Alright you guys, today we will be assembling and installing 4 foot by 8 foot wall mounted shelf. I just took it out of the box there, as you can see. We got all the parts out, get this thing together, and up on the wall right here in this location. Hardware and the parts unboxed or unpacked, and it's ready to go. First step is gonna be us getting, I got my Skil laser here, which is always perfect for the job to keep things level. You guys will probably see this laser in a lot of my videos, but basically he wants it 32 inches high as far as from the ceiling. All right, so just 32 inches down, it'll be below this other storage shelf here. So we're gonna go ahead and mark our studs and then these are the back brackets here. That's what we install first, the back brackets onto the studs, and we go from there. All right, still one of the best stud finders that I've ever used, the Stud Buddy. Already marked my stud locations. Just taking this guy, you basically just wipe it across, and then right there, it grabs it. That's the nail, and I marked right up there. That's the nail inside the studs. If you can't get the electronic stud finders, this is 10 bucks, 11 bucks at Home Depot or most hardware stores. And you can always have it with you, and it never fails. We're gonna install these 3 brackets. I already marked the studs at starting point 48 inches, 96 inches. That's where you want these brackets. And then looks like you want to screw it on the outside hole to line them up. So it just has one bolt in each bracket, the right hole, and you use the 3/16 drill bit to get ready for that lag bolt. And it says do not over tighten, so I'll just make sure it's in there nice and snug, and then I'll show you what it looks like with the 3 brackets all nice and level up there before we go to the next step. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We get these 3 brackets in place just like that. We got the 3 studs marked, and we're doing the right side hole on each bracket with washers and lag bolts. Okay, so we're going to attach these straight panels here, the ones without the hole, not these ones, but the ones without the holes. We'll get those in place up on the wall there on those brackets and go from there. All right, y'all, we got the 3 brackets in place, exactly lined up with the laser level there. And make sure you put these screws behind the plate as you're bolting it in and attaching it to the stud, because you're gonna need those screws there to attach the back bracket basically. So make sure you have those in place. All right, let's go on to the next step. I just want to talk to you guys about my Skil laser real quick and the tripod. I'll have them included in the description below, but it's a very helpful tool to get everything lined up and level, especially when it's a variety of pieces or different pieces that you're trying to level together when they're spaced out. So it's just a really great tool. So now we're gonna get the 2 back support beams on, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, now you guys see we got the back support beams in place, right onto the brackets. Everything looks good, nice and level. So we're gonna bolt them down. We're gonna just get these, just get the bolts on the front there to hold them in place, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so now we got these back beam support beams in place with the washer, 1/4 inch washer and acorn nut. We got 4 in place here, 2 in the middle and 1 on the inside, both left and right side, because the outside will be used by the side beams or side support beams. All right, we'll go on to the next stage. All right, so now to get the measurements here, as you can see, we're kind of under the other storage rack, but basically we got to come out 46 inches to the ceiling, on the ceiling, to find the joist, and that's where we're going to put these guys right into the studs there, so we can hang the cable, which will hold the side support beams of the storage rack. We're just gonna go ahead and mark them and get these 2 brackets in place for these cables to be able to hold the side brackets and actually hold the outside of the storage rack. All right, as you can see now, we have the hook brackets in place. They are 46 inches away from the wall on both ends there. So we got the bracket there and the bracket here. And then this one is right up against the wall because that's the only place I had a stud away from that location. So the instructions allow for the cable to be shifted left and right a few inches. So it's gonna work out just fine. But yeah, everything's in place. We're ready to get these cables hooked and get the 2 side arms installed there. And we'll go from there. Okay, so what we're doing next is installing the cables here onto those 2 side beams, just to make sure we have this down exactly like that before we go up to hang them on these ceiling hooks. All right, let's go ahead and do this part here, 13B. Okay, now we have both the left and the right side support beams here with the cables attached and ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and get them up on the ceiling. All right, y'all, now we got the 2 left and right support beams in place along with the cable to the ceiling brackets. As you can see, they're slanted down a little bit. And I'll just bring out my laser again to get these guys as level as I can. You can adjust. I'll just pull the bolt back 1 hole on each side here to lift it up some more. And then we can fine tune it with the that portion there, or with that piece there. You can fine tune it. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, as you can see now, they're pretty much level. I can fine tune it just a little bit, drop it down, or leave it like that so it has an angle towards the wall versus sloping down. But yeah, definitely you want to do that with these guys if you want to kind of slope up a little bit, 1/8 of an inch. That way things aren't naturally sloping downward, and it gives it time to sag a little bit too. We're good there. All right, y'all, we got basically, this is where we are with the nice check mark, the ceiling one. All this is in place. So at the end, we should have this look here, as you can see. And remember, I'm gonna fine tune the cabling to drop it a little bit, actually raise it a little bit. So the front of the rack, again, is slanting downward as it goes towards the wall, just to give it a nice extra decline so things don't fall off when they put them up there. Or at least they'll have to work against the rack. But yeah, it looks good. Everything's in place, right where you need it. Also, I wanted to show you here that this certain kit allows, see how the cable's slanted? Because that's the only place I had a stud other than 16 to 18 inches over this way. So it allows for that because the front will bring it together, and then you can fine tune, adjust it with that piece there. In case you guys have to do that and adjust for your studs, it's allowable. Okay, so right now we're gonna do this where it's the 2 front support beams with the additional reinforcement bracket here. We're gonna get these guys together because then we're just gonna knock it into place or tap it into place to hold a full rectangle together. Let's go ahead and assemble that. All right, you guys can see we got all 8 bolts, carriage bolts with the acorn nuts in place. And so now this front piece is ready to be locked into place right up here between the right side, or the left side, and the right side support brackets. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, there it is, all squared up, nice rectangle, nice and solid. And I just did a level just to make sure, just put my level up there to make sure it's level. And as you can see, it's good to go. And it looks good. Really glad with the way it turned out. All right, now we're just gonna connect these 4-foot cross support arms here, just to kind of keep the rectangle storage unit in place and from shifting left or right or twisting. So let's go ahead and put those in place. Now we just have to put these separator or runners here that hold the metal wire panels in place. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. everything's nice and level. It's squared up, and we got the brackets here holding in place, and we got the panels, the wire panels, and these support beams here holding everything in its proper place. So again, remember guys, if you have any questions, please just put them in the comments and I'll respond to you as quickly as I can. But that looks good. That's a good looking storage rack. It's quite a bit bigger than this one here. But now they have more room to store, and I'm gonna do the test. This is saying it can hold up to 600 pounds. I'm just under 200 pounds. I don't know, 170, 180. So I'm gonna go ahead and climb up there. The customer said it's okay. Right, Dave?
Definitely go for it.
Okay, and so I'm gonna climb up there and make sure it can at least hold me, and it's good to test your work too. Because if it's not in the studs, which I know it is, but if it wasn't, it'd fall. So here we go. And if it doesn't hold me, then all the work was for nothing. I mean, it's like I trust it, but it's still scary.
That's it looks like it's doing what it says.
Alright, so at least 180 pounds, no problem. So yeah, it's nice and solid. Very good. Alright.
That's great.
That's enough of that. I'm getting old. When I was younger, okay. Thank you.